Hey, beautiful people. It is your girl T. Welcome to my channel, and we are going to go to part 2 of the color and chat. Thank you all for watching the last one if you did. If you didn't, you can go ahead and catch it. Today I have the sniffles a little bit, so please forgive me if I sniffle during the chatting. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and focus on this picture by doing some shading on it, on the kitties. Again, we're working in Tentacle Kitty coloring book. And I did these kittens in Conda markers. They're alcohol markers. And I did the back in a matte paint by Folk Art. It's called Baby Pink. And so I'm going to go ahead and do some shading on this picture with Arteza Expert. I have the 72 Arteza color pencil expert set. And the 3 colors that I will be using in this set are Fruit Punch. The next one is Ocean Blue. And the 3rd color is going to be Eggplant. Okay, so let me get started here. I'm going to actually work on, and sorry for the background noise, I'm going to be actually working on this kitty first. So basically what I do is once I color with the markers, I go ahead and do some shading with colored pencil. So yeah, so that's how I do that, and just, you know, shade and kind of make it have some kind of dimension here, because I find that if you just use markers, sometimes the pictures look kind of flat, and I don't really like that look. So I'd like to add a little bit extra to it. So you guys, I feel so bad for the people in Florida who are going to be going through this Hurricane Michael. You know, we went through a hurricane here in North Carolina, and we still have people trying to get their lives back in order from that hurricane. My son, you know, he goes to school in Eastern Carolina area, and he had to evacuate. At first he thought he was going to be able to stay, but he had to evacuate the school. So my husband went and picked him up from school. So that was a little scary, because he was only like an hour or so from Wilmington, and they didn't want any of the students on campus for fear of, you know, flooding and tornadoes, because not only do, you know, they don't really talk about tornadoes that much with hurricanes, but those things, I mean, we were here about 2 hours away from the coast, 2.5 hours away, and we were having, it was just relentless rain, wind, tornado warning, tornado watch, flash flood warning was constant. You know, it's kind of hard to go to sleep, because if you're afraid if you go to sleep, you might be stuck in some type of, you know, floodwaters, or you might miss a tornado, or, I mean, it was just really bad. I mean, it just poured, it rained for days. It didn't seem like it stopped at all. And that's why, you know, North Carolina had such a hard time with the storm, with this hurricane, and because it just sat over us for days and days and days and days. And so people were like just over it all, you know, and kind of felt sorry for the people who had to evacuate and didn't know when they would be able to get back home, check on their property. I mean, that could be, I know that that was like just, oh. Luckily we didn't have to evacuate or anything like that, but I can just imagine the people trying to go home and check on their property to see if, you know, they still have a house or not. And the sad thing is that a lot of people down there didn't have flood insurance. So it's like, oh man, you know, what's going to happen to them? So, or hopefully they get some help. But so yeah, I kind of feel sorry for people down in Florida. If you're in Florida, I'm sure you're not watching this, but you're probably getting ready to brace yourself for this huge storm. And then, you know, it's supposed to come up this way. As far as the rain, we're gonna get rain again. So it's like, man, we just had so much rain. We can't take any more. We have a lot of farmers who pretty much don't have any crops. Their land is like gone. Their crops are gone. Their land has to be reharvested. I mean, not harvested, but, you know, prepared for new crops. But yet people lost all their, you know, farm animals and stuff. Oh, it's just so bad. So I feel sorry for the people in Florida. I hope that, you know, it's not too bad, but you know, with these storms, you can never tell. And anytime there's like a foot of rain anywhere, there's bound to be something that happens. So my heart goes out to them and to the people in North Carolina who are still going through getting their lives back together. It'll all get better soon. We had a lot of people were like upset because people were leaving their pets down, you know, leaving their pets at home, like, and not bringing their pets with them. You know, some people don't see their pets as a priority when it comes to something like that, unfortunately. I wouldn't be able to leave my pet. No. But, you know, for the people who did, I can probably understand. They probably knew they weren't going to be able to find hotels and things like that accept animals. You know, they maybe didn't have space to bring them and just said, okay, let's just hope and pray they're okay here. I don't know what reasoning, but, you know, when you're put in a situation where you have to make a decision like that, we can all say like what we would do, but we really don't know until we actually go through that. So I know that we had in Raleigh, they opened up the Raleigh fairgrounds as an animal shelter. I think they said they had over 1,000 animals that needed a place to go. So it's good to have, you know, a place for them if, you know, if they're needed, you know, they need some special care during these kind of things that are happening. But yeah, so I hope the people over there are okay in Florida. I got a good friend that's down there, and I texted her today to let her know that we're thinking about them, and, you know, hope everything's okay. She's like, they're not evacuating until they're told to. So, and I kind of have a feeling that people are going to be told to evacuate because they say it's supposed to be like a major hurricane, which means it's like category, I think 4 or 5, something like that. So you would think the people down in the coast area will probably want to stay for something like that, but there's a lot of people who just want to stay with their home. They don't want to leave, but then, when it gets tough out there because rescue services and rescue teams are not going to be able to get to you, it's like you risk also too possibly losing your life. It's just a sad thing to watch, like people go through that stuff. But when the hurricanes are in your area like that, you have to kind of watch the news so you can know what's going on. But it was kind of depressing to hear like people being washed away or babies being washed away from their mothers. Oh, so sad. Yeah, so be keeping Florida in my thoughts and prayers. So, okay, so I'm using these Artezas and they're doing okay, I guess. Trying to do some layering with them. I'm not sure how it's looking on the camera. Right in this area is where I'm at right now. But I like the colors. It's giving it some dimension here, so I'll just keep going. May have to sharpen soon. So I had a couple like 1 or 2 comments on the last video, and I want to thank the people who made comments. Someone suggested for me the Cali Art markers, so I'm going to check those out. I've seen people in my group use those, but I'm always so skeptical of markers. Because some people get markers and they go, oh my God, more than half of them don't work. And I'm like, what? How can you pay for something and you get it and it doesn't work? I just don't get that. To me, that's a problem. So it makes me not want to order markers. Oh no, I rather be able to go to the store and open each marker, make sure that it works before I take them home. But of course, Amazon doesn't have walk-in stores, so you can't do that. So we have to deal with just ordering them and just doing returns, which Amazon's really good about returns. I've never had an issue where I couldn't return an item that I purchased or even was gifted that I maybe have a duplicate of and didn't need. So Amazon's kind of the way to go. So you guys, Christmas is coming up and it's one of my favorite holidays. And when they announced that they were closing Toys R Us, my little one was in the car and he was so sad because Toys R Us is no more. He actually cried in the car when he heard that on the news, and he said, where are kids gonna go to buy toys? And I was just like, I was sad too, because that for me was a nostalgia. That's like a nostalgia place for, if you're if you're born in the 70s or maybe 80s, that was like the place to go to check out new toys and have your parents take you there so you can look around and they can get an idea of what you want for Christmas and stuff like that. So I felt so bad for my little guy. He was just so distraught about that. So I was like, well, Christian, there's always Walmart. And he says, they don't have a lot of toys like Toys R Us. I was like, yeah, but they have to close, baby. They can't stay open. Don't worry. There's gonna be toys that you can get or we can order online and stuff like that. So I'm kind of thinking what's going to happen this year as far as like toys, because again, Toys R Us had like every toy that you could kind of think of. And with them not being around anymore, it's like, who's gonna have all the toys? I mean, sometimes they had stuff you couldn't even find at Walmart. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. It's a little sad. When he was talking about it, it made me a little sad too, because if you're a Toys R Us kid, you don't want to grow up. So I don't know. So you guys, you can still see my streaks in here. Again, I'm not so good at markers just yet. I'm still trying to figure them out. So you're gonna see some streaking in here. But just know I am novice to markers, at least. Just learning. Trying to teach myself how to do it, but of course I come up with some snags here and there when I'm working with them. So, and they're not forgiving like color pencils. Markers are like, once you put it down, you got to deal with it, because there's no erasing. So, but I think I like this kitty. I don't know if I want to do anything else to him just yet. Just want to make sure I'm in the frame. So we're going to do that one next. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can kind of see better what's going on here. Okay. So on this one here, I used eggplant. Sorry, it's not focusing. It's not wanting to focus, so hopefully this is not blurry. Okay, so on this kitty here, I'm going to use Fruit Punch. Down, doesn't want to. Okay, Fruit Punch in a minute. So it's going to be kind of a long week for me. I don't know about you guys. We have, some changes going on at work. So my team is gonna be helping another team probably here soon, and which I think is good because it's kind of like cross training, and they'll have opportunities hopefully to get some overtime, which is pretty cool to get around Christmas. Where I work at, typically there is no overtime. It's like once in a blue moon, you have to be like really behind in work to kind of even get some overtime. But yeah, so I think my group is looking forward to learning something new, because after a while, when you're doing something for a long time, you kind of want something new to do. So I think it's going to be welcomed. Welcomed work. But like I said, we're going to have a long week. It seems like too when we're having bad weather, because we're going to be getting a lot of rain from this hurricane. It seems like when we have bad weather, my days seem to go longer. I don't know how to explain it. Just my office, I have a great view from my office. But it's so great that even when it's bad weather out there, I have to see it because my windows are huge. Unless I decide to close the blinds, but I really don't like doing that because I want to see what's going on weather-wise or outside. So I don't want to be trapped in there. It will make me feel trapped in if I close the blinds. I really like this pink. This fruit punch color is really cute. It's really pretty. And when you're using it on top of these markers, I don't know, makes this pink look prettier. And it makes the little kitty look so cute. So am I the only one who doesn't like pumpkin spice or pumpkin flavored stuff? I love fall, but I cannot get down with pumpkin. I think I've said that once before, but I cannot get down with pumpkin spice, pumpkin flavored this, pumpkin flavored that. They even have daggone cereal that's pumpkin spice flavored. I can't. Not a big pumpkin fan. And so when I see all that, I'm just like, oh my gosh, everything has got to be pumpkin. Just all you see in the stores now. So apparently I probably am the only one who doesn't like pumpkin spice in America. Oh gosh. But that's okay. There's something out there for me. It's called apple cider. I like spice flavor stuff. I just don't like pumpkin. I don't like the pumpkin flavor. But people say pumpkin doesn't have flavor. I'm like, well, to me it does. And me no likey. So I don't buy it. Hope I don't lose any subscribers over not liking pumpkin. Pumpkin spice. Some people are all about that pumpkin, man. They're like diehard. Oh, it's time for pumpkin spice. And I'm just like, I don't see what you guys like about it. But okay, to each his own. Go for it. So I tend to like just, like spice flavor. Like, I don't know, I love anything cinnamon. So if you put, if it has cinnamon in there, and it can just be cinnamon, nothing else, I will love it. Something about cinnamon I like a lot. Well, I think it's turning out pretty good. I don't like the streaks in my marker, but it can't always be perfect. I should have probably went over them another layer. I know people say when you see the streaks, try going over it, with another layer, but because I want to do these videos and get the picture done within 1 to 3 videos, I think going over the markers going over the first layer, make me have to go a little further in my videos. I will try it one time to see if that works better. But for now, just, I'm not going to go over them for this picture. I really like these kitties. They're so cute. I like to color kitties. It's turned out pretty good. Pretty happy with that. I'm going to try to get these done in this video. I think this will be the last video I do with the kitties, and then I'll just show the finished picture, you know, when I do my completed pages video, which I need to do one because I have a lot of completed pictures. That way you guys can see how it turned out, because I'm going to do some more stuff to the background. We'll see. We'll see. I might keep going. So I don't know, just if anyone has these expert color pencils. I want to say Arteza did really good with these pencils. I really am enjoying using them. Pretty shocked and amazed at how nice they work. If I had to buy something, you know, a set for someone, or to choose a nice set, I think I'd choose these big time, because they're not very expensive, and you know, you get light fastness with them, and I don't know how many, you know, budget brand pencils you can get, or not budget. These are probably, I would say these are probably budget to mid, or mid to high end pencils. But how many of those pencils you actually get with light fastness? You don't really get very many. So I think this is a good choice, you know, if you're looking for a nice pencil. They are kind of soft, not super soft like Prismas, to me at least. They're a little harder than those, but you know, they're still pretty nice pencil. Probably gonna go in this area with some white gel pens, just to make them have a little highlighted area in their fur down here, where it's making it kind of, where you can see that it's fur. I'll probably use gel pens there to highlight that. Is anyone going to get the new Joanna Basford book, World of Flowers? I know there are some people in my Facebook group who's like, no, they don't want to. A lot of them don't really like coloring flowers, so they're not interested. I don't mind coloring flowers. Actually, I like I like to color flowers. I mean, I'm not really good at doing it, but you know, sometimes I have to use references. And sometimes when I'm looking at a flower, I don't even know what flower it is. And if the book doesn't tell me, then I'm guessing, or I'm just using whatever colors I want to use, which is fine, because when you're doing art, it's really your interpretation. So you can interpret, you know, the flower neon green if you want, you know, or you can make a rose black. I mean, there are black roses, but you know what I mean? You don't have to stick with like realistic colors and stuff like that. Just like with the kitties here, you don't have to be realistic. You can do whatever you want to do. So that's one thing I like about coloring. There's really no wrong color to use, and there's really no, you know, you don't have to use a certain medium. Just, you can do whatever you want to do, You can be as creative as you want to be, or you can just color it just to color it. I know a lot of people in my groups and color just to color. They don't really want to do a lot of shading. They just want to color a picture, and that's fine. That's awesome. That's the way that they want to do it. And then there's people like me who want to do shading and highlights and stuff like that. So we may spend a little bit more time on our pictures, and that's because that's our way, our preference of coloring something. So, you know, everyone has their own way, and just because you do it one way, like, you know, with shading, and the other person doesn't mean that their picture's not as good. So it's all about technique. So and also, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So you might look at it and you may not like it. The next person will look at it and love it. And that's what's so cool about art in general, really. So this cat is so, these cats are so cute. I just love how they're drawn. They make you really want to color them all cutesy and stuff. Colorful. So this is the area that I messed up. So I'm gonna try and see what I can do here. Probably not much, just be a funky looking ear. So I guess I'm trying to catch a cold or something. I'm gonna have to get some emergency or something. I have the flu shot because I don't want to get those nasty germs that my son's gonna bring home from kindergarten, because you know how that goes. It's his first year of elementary, and I'm noticing they're not washing their hands as much as he did in preschool. So I'm hoping that his little body will not get sick, because usually if there's a flu going around or a stomach bug, most cases he gets it. So I usually, during this time of the year, I'm spraying Lysol on everything. I probably do it like once every other day. I'll get Lysol and just spray all the doorknobs, all the everything, light switches, everything that's touched by someone's hand gets sprayed. So they think my husband, I do that too when we go to hotels. I bring like sprays sometime, and I'm going nuts. Sometimes I do that. Just never know. I like the room to smell fresh and clean, and I want it to be disinfected, because I don't know, you know, how clean it is, and if they really did a good job cleaning it. So probably a lot of people out there like that. I'm just hoping there are. I'm not the only one. Not the only one. I want to get shade around the eyes a little bit to bring some kind of dimension there. Just a little. Not too much. So y'all, I'm looking to get a bird, and I want to get a green cheek conure, but a cinnamon one. And I'm looking for some cool names for a cute little baby green cheek conure, little cinnamon green cheek conure. And I cannot wait to get that bird. I think my husband wants to buy it for me for Christmas, but I told him, hey, yeah, you can do that, but I want to be the one to go and pick out the bird. You know, since it's gonna be mine, I want to make sure it likes me before it comes home. So I'm thinking of some names, and I don't know if I like them. One of them I thought of was Tamale. I love Mexican food. I love Mexican anything. So I'm like always thinking of like Spanish sounding names for my pets. Apollo's not a Spanish name. That's my husband's pet. So Apollo is a name that my husband chose. And that Apollo's our bearded dragon. And he may be doing a debut soon in the video. I told my husband, he makes a lot of noise sometimes when I'm doing videos in the dining room. And he goes, well, that's because he wants to be on the camera. I'm like, no. So we'll see, maybe. And I was like, oh yeah, I get my bird. I'm going to bring my bird on and people can meet my little bird. He's like, wait a minute, what about Apollo? He wants to be on there. You don't want to put Apollo on? I'm like, no. Because Apollo is not, he's not going to probably just sit there. He's probably going to run off. And then I'll be knocking everything over, making sure he doesn't fall and hurt himself. So I probably will not be putting Apollo in the videos. So, all right. So I think this one's done for now. And I'm going to work on this one now. All right. So this one I'm using Ocean Blue from the Arteza set. And I'm going to start down here at the bottom. I'm going to do this a little faster than I did the others. Usually don't like to do that because then I might mess up, but I want to try to get some of this done so that we can move on doing some highlights. But I might go ahead and just do one more video to finish this one up. I don't want to rush. I want you all to see my entire process here. Plus too, sometimes when I'm talking, I'm not really paying attention. I'm noticing. So, but I don't want to be silent in the video because you guys I want to do color and chats sometimes. And then there's going to be times where I'm just going to color, and there's just going to be music playing. And that's probably if, you know, I just want to color for you guys and show you what I'm up to. If you guys have any questions or comments, you want to see me do something, if I know how to do it, I'll do it. If not, we can learn together. I'm always down for learning something new. Go dark under there. And I'm always learning something new. So you think you know enough to get you by sometimes, but then you find out, oh shoot, that was a good idea. That person's cool. They come up with this new technique, or you know, you never thought of trying a certain way of doing something, and you know, you try it and you're like, wow, and then you find out that certain technique or whatever, could be cooking, whatever, that technique like works best for you. So that's why I like to watch other videos on YouTube, or I get a lot of art books and just read them, flip through them, to try to figure out different ways of doing things. Because you can always perfect your style by incorporating other styles into yours. Of course, you want to give credit where credit's due. So you saw a certain way of doing something on, you know, somebody's channel, you want to at least give them props. You know, oh, I saw how to do this style of background on so-and-so's channel, and I thought I'd try it, and this is what I come up with. I had my own little twist to it, you know, just to give people credit. Because people like to get credit for the things that they've created or started. Oh, I'm way out of frame, y'all. I'm sorry about that. Go back down here. Okay, so we're coloring the ears here. These kitty cats are so cute. I love the drawings. The illustration is just so darling. So cute. You know, I've been forgetting to put my email address down in the comment section. If you ever want to send me an email just to say, hey, how you doing? You can do that. I'll make sure I put my email address down there in the comment section. And that email address, I'm checking. I usually check it once every other day. So if you send me an email and I don't respond to you right away, just know that I will within 24 to 48 hours at least. See this the marker work under here is not so great, so I feel like I'm having issues with shading. You guys can probably see it better than me right now on the video. I'm trying my best to try to get a lot of that white out of there. Or the patchy stuff, but it's kind of hard. And I'm using circular motions when I'm coloring, if you notice that. So, see this streaky right here, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get that out, but that's okay. Oh, time to sharpen. So I don't know, I'll show you the sharpener I'm using. I use this little Coom Forn 1 sharpener. I don't know if you can see it. And I really like this. It has two sides and it keeps the shavings in the compartment. And it sharpens these pencils really well to a nice tiny point. They do snap off sometimes, but if you color lightly, they won't. Right now I'm using a little bit heavy pressure because I'm trying to work on top of this marker. Should be using lighter pressure, but I'm also trying to get some of this splotchiness out, which I'm not having much luck. So, but anyways, I typically like Coom erasers, Coom pencil sharpeners, and I also like the Faber-Castell one for my Faber-Castell pencils. And then I also like the Derwent Superpoint manual. It's like a helical pencil sharpener where you spin the arm like that and it actually locks your pencil in place. The points are super long. And I like using that with my Prismacolors because sometimes my Prismacolors, when they start like breaking off when I'm sharpening them, I go to using that pencil sharpener because it doesn't do all that breaking them, and it gets it into a nice point. Because with your Prismas, if you don't watch it, you're just sharpening because it keeps breaking, you'll be down to like no pencil in a minute. So typically if I see that when I sharpen it with my Coom and it's starting to act like that, I'll pull out the helical super point and I'll use that one, and it kind of gets it back together, gets the pencil acting right again. But I've always had good luck with the Coom pencil sharpener, so I just kind of stick with those. In Hobby Lobby, when they were having the big clearance sales, I was shocked because I never see the Coom pencil sharpeners on sale, and this one here they had two of them on clearance, and I was like, what? So of course I had to get them both. I'm not gonna leave them sitting there because I sharpen a lot of pencils, and the blades get dull And, you know, you want to make sure you have a nice sharpener, a nice sharpened pencil when you're working with it. So, I think we're about done. This kitty. We'll come back to do another video with highlighting. We're almost done here. I like it so far, even with the streaks. I just like the color and just the picture itself. What I'm doing is I notice that it's not dark enough around here because you really can't see where the next tentacle is. So I kind of went a little darker close to the line here, just down in here to get a little bit more darker, more dimension so we can see where the new tentacles begin and end, and the old ones end. So almost done with these kitties, and then we're gonna say see you laters. It's been good. I've enjoyed actually talking on the videos here. I didn't think I would like it. I guess it's okay if you have something to talk about, and you know, sometimes I don't have much to talk about. So I guess I could just share my day and things like that, what's going on locally, and just let you guys, you know, maybe have questions or something, maybe answer questions. Okay, so this kitty is probably all it's gonna get. Do something over here, so it needs a little darker. Kind of like the texture. You know, I'll probably in most cases when it's giving me issues like that, I use a blender pencil or something like that. But I don't want to use a blender pencil on this page. So I'm just going to work with, you know, just work with the paper and work with the pencil the best I can. You know, you see these streaks here, but I think sometimes those streaks that you have in markers kind of has a nice effect, but that's not in, you know, every picture do you see a nice effect. So see here. And so I'm gonna go ahead and zoom out so you guys can see. This is these are the kitties. And next time I come back, we're gonna work on doing the shading in the ears and the butterflies, and maybe do some highlights, or I might do some highlights and show them to you once I'm done with them, when we get to doing the butterflies in the ears. So I hope you guys enjoy watching. Until next time, see you later.